Yo, what's up guys? This is Chess Beast and I will present to you now a game which I heard of with the commentaries of Andrew Martin in his DVD on the Dragon, which I found very good, and I will post a link in the description if you like to play the Dragon, but a creative way, not a way that you need to memorize all the theory like in the Poison Pawn variation of the Najdorf, or in the Dragon Yugoslav attack main lines, you know, where you just don't need to know the theory. And I'll show you how he dealt with the Dragon, and he basically says that if he knew that he would play, if he had to analyze the main lines of the Dragon, he would not take upon this DVD. If you want the main lines, then you should look at the DVD of Nigel Davies, How to Beat Younger Players. I think he gives main lines, I'm not sure, but I'll show you what in this DVD he recommends against the main line, which is Bishop E3, F3 and Queen D2. He recommends the Dragendorf, which I'll show you in this game. So this game was the first one after the intro, and he showed why he didn't want to analyze the main Dragon, because simply you can get smashed, as I'm going to show you here from the white's perspective. This is a game between Larry Evans and Bernard Zuckerman, played in New York 1967, and it features the Dragon variation with 9th castle queenside, sorry. So yeah, here is the mainline Dragon as played in the game, but in the DVD he recommends the Dragendorf, which is an hybrid between the Najdorf and the Dragon. So a6, Queen d2. I like this system a lot, and here he presents a lot of games with Bishop c4, Bishop h6, g4, and Castle Queenside, in which in all those games and all those videos I'm sure you will find something like very creative, where you don't need to know theory, but you need to have a creative mind, and you will play on your own, and who knows, maybe you can get the game of the century with this opening. We never know. So after f3, let's just look how black can get smashed with 9th castle, which is the move that I play basically because if sorry, not this. Basically, if you put the bishop, you will have to waste 2 tempes, while black will put his knight on c4 with bishop d7 and rook c8, which is something he wants to do. But if he plays it now without the bishop being on c4, then it's a waste of tempes, you know. You don't have to waste tempes going on c4 and b3. It's a gain of tempes for your attack. So it's the modern way of treating the Dragon. And for all those theory freaks, d5 is recommended. But if you're a white player and still wants to play this, then you should play king b1, for the simple reason that you only need to study one variation. It's e5. It's really the theoretical thing here, which leads to an advantage for white. Instead, there are other things. Oh yes, it's knight d4, which is the main move, and that you need to study. But there is a way. Well, there is a DVD out there of Roman Sintsishashvili about slaying the Dragon. Anyway, but he cannot take here, that's for sure, because he simply loses a piece. And this is over. And for instance, if I don't know. Knight takes d4. Oh yeah, in the game he played knight takes d4 instead of d5, which is the main line. So now bishop e6, putting pressure, and king b1, nice prophylactic move, by the way. Queen c7, making room for the f8 rook to come into the game. h4. Now probably rook fc8 was an error. I think from my perspective, rook h5 was probably better. But it just looks normal to put the pawn on h5, you know. But I think in modern treatments that might be the way to go. So, you know, maybe rook fc8, and now I think after h5, I think just white gets a crushing attack after this. I mean, it just looks bizarre because I never really, how to say, I never could crush the dragon, but after this game I just know all the ways that white can do to white can hack the king and then win. So now knight takes h5 is of course forced, because if pawn takes, then of course bishop takes f6, and then rook takes, and all the things. So knight takes h5, bishop takes g7, king takes g7 is forced, because if knight takes, queen h6 with devastating effect on h7, of course. So again, king takes g7, g4, queen h6, going after the Bobby Fischer, you know, Bobby Fischer once said that sack mate against the dragon. He's following Bobby Fischer's path. So king g8, and now the knight, we want to strip the defender of the white king side and on h7. So knight d5 is of course not possible, but knight d5 is of course not possible because queen takes c2 and it's the end of the game. So white finds an absolutely brilliant way to continue the attack. He plays simply e5. Now as I said, all the moves that were played by white are forcing moves. So now he needs to take, because if he moves his knight, then queen takes h7, again with devastating effects. So now comes the point. Now it's just a combination. Brilliant combination by Mr. Larry Evans. He plays g5. Brilliant move. Now this deserves something like an applause, because it's just a really brilliant move. Now he had to calculate this till the end. So knight h5, again following the path of Bobby Fischer, sacrificing the rook. Bishop comes on d3. Now of course f5 is not a move because queen takes c6, and it's the end. So e4 was played, because we can never know in the dragon, if you're in sort of position like this when you're just a spectator for the white attack, you have to complicate things, you know. And here he found the good move. Now if bishop takes e4, this is a mistake because of queen e5. Now this doesn't lead to, this leads to nothing, and yeah, so this leads to nothing too, because he cannot continue the attack because the queen is watching all the squares. But indeed more effective is knight takes e4, where black has to fight the firing squad. Queen f4. was the reply. Now if queen e5, which might be better, but anyway, it's mate. Is it no, just wait. Yeah, so okay, now this is threatening mate. If of course he sacks the queen, it's over. Bishop takes e2 is the move. Now this is of course lost, and if queen g3, then here's a pretty way to finish the game. It's the same path as the other mate, with queen to f4 instead of queen e5, as played Bernard Zuckerman. Now here knight to f6 check, completely demolition of the black's king. But he had of course to calculate till the mate in how much moves? 4 moves? 5 moves? I don't know. Bishop takes h7 check. Bishop f5, very important. You will see why. You want to for the queen to not protect the square on f6. It's very important for the mate to happen forcefully. As I said, after h5 all goes by force, and this is by force. Bishop f5 check, king g8, queen h7 check, king f8, and now queen h8 check. And he resigned here simply because this mate. What can I say? This was an absolute brilliancy, a pearl game, as we say in chessgames.com, and yeah, I think it was played perfectly, and I think that you know, this line, the classical dragon, will never be played because of this game. Well, it can be played if you want to study all the lines, but I just think that this game just puts the nail in the coffin, really. After here h5, brilliant move. Well, not really brilliant. It doesn't take somebody really brilliant to play this, but it was really good. So yeah, let's just check with the engine just to see. I have Fritz 6, I'm really sorry, but I have Ripka in another way, but anyway. So yeah, so here h4, and he says that h5 was the best move, and after rook fc8 he's slightly down because h5, knight takes, bishop takes, g4, knight f6, queen h6 check, as played by him. So g5, e5, d takes e5, g5, and computer doesn't sees it, so he recommends it, but says that it's 0 until he sees e5 and g5. So that's very good. Brilliant game by Larry. So I'll put the link on the description for the two products, and now let's I'll end the video now. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.